from the Rockefeller Plaza Studios in New York. This is the Avgi Maria Show. Please welcome your hostess, Mrs. Avgi Maria.
Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else. Today's topic is love. Love in COVID-19 times, cyber love in literature, love in Greek books, and love from the perspective of the policewoman and writer Ioanna Gkanetsa. And this is hers. Love is for the braves and for those ones that they are daring. Hello there. Ioanna, you really brave.
Hello.
In many levels. How are you? We are so good
I'm fine.
Here with us.
Thank you very much. It's a great opportunity for me to actually be introduced to America in this way. So I'm really excited about it. I'm fine, although we are still in a quarantine time. We all try to be creative in any way we can. I work, of course. I go to work because I'm a police officer, as you've already said. So it's hard for me to have a leave of absence. But I'm still here trying to do everything I can to forget about all the coronavirus problem.
That's true. Firstly, as a woman in a men's profession, you're really admired. Secondly, for being one of the founding members of the Action of Police Officer for Human Rights. And last but not least, for your writing skills. 3 books so far, and all of them speak for love in a concept without extended use of social or historical references. Love doesn't need a title. The flower, the blossom of life, and the museum of broken relationships.
Mm-hmm.
In your first book, you give 40 different manifestations of love. In the second book, you did an extended research in the Botanical Garden in Edinburgh. In the third book, you visited the Museum of Broken Relationships in Zagreb in Croatia. You became the Odyssey, and you gave the perspective of a man trying to speak as a man. This is something really, really impressive. How you did that?
I think that there are a lot of reasons why I chose to speak, to write as a man. I think the first one is that I wanted to avoid being, let's say, being thought as the one living the stories. This is the first thing I wanted to try to avoid. So I thought that by choosing a man as my hero, it would be more difficult, and of course it would be very challenging. I want to tell you that many men that have read my stories have actually found themselves in some of the scenes, some of the words, and this is very encouraging. And I really like it. Of course, the fact that I am in a profession full of men gives me, yes, many perspectives of their characters. I have met many characters so far in my career, so I think I can have a better, let's say, opinion, perspective of the way they feel or the way they act. And I can tell you that not all men are the same. And of course, not all women are the same. This is a myth that doesn't really exist.
That's great. You are doing a lot of research in order to write a book. In the one with the botanical garden, I read that you did almost 2 years research.
Yes, in Edinburgh, the garden is there. It exists, and all the flowers and all the scenes are real. I have studied all virtual scenes and the videos of the garden. I have studied the maps and all the. I've studied all the flowers that exist in the garden, and I've chosen the ones that speak of love or the ones that have to do in one way or another with love, either because they look like a heart, for example, leaves that look like a heart, or because they have a story that has to do with love. So it was a bit difficult, but I managed to compose it and write a story that they could be implemented.
Yes, also in the Museum of Broken Relationship, that is a real museum in Zagreb. What people they're doing? They're leaving their things over there after they break up, and they are full of the pain, and that made the circle, and they are ready to move on. They just go and tell the story by leaving an item, or what?
Yes, this started as simply as an idea of the couple that first thought of setting up such a museum. They didn't want to get rid of the stuff, of the things that had connected them when they were a couple, so they decided to actually keep them in a museum. This had it was much accepted from other people who felt the same way. So people go there and they either visit it and they find stories that they could have been their own, or they leave or they send an object, a thing they have connected their love with, and they write a couple of words about the love they have experienced. It is very interesting, I have to say.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to contribute in this museum. I'm not sure. I'm not
this
sure.
Is something that almost all reporters ask me, journalists. They ask this question to me or to other people when we discuss about it. Yes. What would you leave if you had to leave something?
I don't know if I want to leave something. Do you?
I haven't thought about it. I have to admit. Some say they would leave a toothpaste because they have lived together. I can tell you about some really odd, strange objects like a wine opener or shoes. They leave shoes most of the times, or bicycles. Yes, or cups of coffees. Coffee they have drunk together. Yes, they are not valuable objects, but they are valuable in the heart.
In the heart. Yeah. I'm thinking more than burn the wedding dress than give it. And in US around, I've seen so many videos, so I believe I'm gonna stick in this.
They have sent wedding dresses.
If it goes, let it go. So your topic is always love, and why is that?
Yes.
Why your research is all about great loves, internal lovers, huge desires, but sound ones from the very first start. Let's say love is really difficult. Okay, although it's a voyage, sometimes difficult, easy, good, bad, but everything's constantly flowing according to Heraclitus. So the feelings are changing too, right?
Yes, they are constantly changing, and love changes. And it would be very boring if it was the same all the time. I think love has to do with all other feelings. It has to do with passion, with jealousy, with hard feelings, good feelings, soft feelings. So I think that when you want to speak to the reader and you want to speak to him straight to the heart, this is the only way. And my basic topic in all my books is love, not love stories. Love stories is, let's say, the way to introduce kind of love, because there are many kinds of love. There is another kind of love that I talk about to the book, The Blossom of Love, and there's another kind of love that I talk about, I write about to the Museum of Broken Relationships.
Different ages. I think I saw that there were different ages. Your characters.
Different ages, different loves. Yes, in The Blossom of Love, we have the first love, not the first love. Let's say the spontaneous love, love at first sight, and then we have all the difficulties they're experiencing and why they don't go for it from the beginning, although they both have feelings. And in the second novel, the couple is already broken. They have broken apart. The one is in Paris, the other one is in Zagreb. And we learn about their stories. We read about their stories from that point and then.
So always the topic is love. It's interesting and never ending, right?
Never ending, yes. I think that all great authors have dealt with this topic. I think it's the most the topic that all writers have chosen to talk about in one era or the other.
Yeah, but really matters the way you approach, because
Yes.
for me it's kind of boring only to read the sexual nature of this relationship. We forgot the feeling and the superior feeling.
I think that
I
what
found in your book.
what I
That
try
is,
to do
you
is,
express that.
yes, to go deeper,
Yes.
beyond the surface
Yes.
of just, two people trying to love each other, trying to experience, to live a relationship. I try to find or try to give the readers the whys, the reasons, or the effects of their choices, because all of the things we do, even in love, they are choices. Sometimes we choose to dare and leave something, and sometimes we don't dare, we don't choose to dare. And this is also a
Who
question
is
that
the winner? The one who dares, or the one that says, okay, it's not for me, stay here where you are?
I think that we both agree that the one that lives, the one that dares, is always the winner. Although most probably he will be hurt over time. I think the one that experiences, that lives the moment, is the one that wins.
Yeah, I believe the same. So love is wonderful but tough. You won't be loved from everybody. Those who will hurt you will be more. But you, my little one, you have to keep falling in love. You are the only reason that I would like to be born again, to fall in love again, to fall in love with you from the beginning. Very poetic. You are
Yeah.
using words that they are really poetic, and they always stay in our minds. That's beautiful. This is writing for me.
Thank you very
Congratulations,
much.
first of all. But you find yourself in these words.
I think that we all have one or two loves that we can remember, that we have felt or thought or said something like this, or we have heard something like this. I don't believe that there is nothing there. I don't believe in the surface, in love that has nothing to do either beyond above the surface. I think that it is not easy to find a great love, but we should all try to find at least once in our life that great love. We all deserve it. It is a very good feeling to live it.
That's true. So we said that love is a topic that you will never be bored to research and write about it. You can find inspiration, I guess, in everything.
Yes.
So what's coming? What we have to wait? I know
My
that
next.
the book is new,
Yes.
the last one, but I believe a writer never stop having something
No. In
working
his
on.
mind, yes. I have already done the research on paintings that have to do with love, and I'm trying now to choose which ones I want to use. I have already found the story. I have already written the first couple of pages. Yes, but we are a long way until we finish it. But as you have already said, the writer never stops.
So COVID gave you let's say, the opportunity to focus more in yourself and make it easier to write more things and to research on more things. What is your COVID-19 experience?
Since my profession has to do with watching others, my reality, my everyday life hasn't changed much. I go to work, I leave the house, So I experience COVID in I see COVID's many faces. It is not. I'm not one of those who have stayed home much. But this doesn't change the fact that whenever I find time, I try to focus on my writing, because it is something that it has first to do with me, with what I need to do. I like writing. I like talking to people through my writings. And this is a way for me to communicate with readers. I really like our relationships, because they find me in social media. Sorry.
Like I do.
And
Like
yes, like
me,
you
like
did.
I did.
Yes.
Yes.
And this live correspondence is very interesting, and I really like it. I also write many articles on the internet, because you can see spontaneously how they feel, how they react when they read it. So I also like this kind of communication with them. In a nutshell, I write whenever I can.
That's good. That's really good, and it's a self-expression. But with all these COVID issues, did your perspective for life is different in a way, or in your writing, because it is really pandemic? It is something that we never experienced before.
Yes.
There are people that believe, there are others that they don't believe, but still this is something that is going on.
I
And we're
don't
not
believe
free.
much. Yes, I don't believe much in conspiracies until they're proven, of course.
Okay.
I believe what I see, and coronavirus is something real. Thank God, my family, my relatives, my close relatives haven't been in danger so long. So I take care of myself. I take care of the family. We try to follow all the rules. And but I don't think that we should have the sense that life stops. Life always continues. It flows. So we have to do whatever we can in the circumstances given. Hopefully, they will change into 2021. But until then, we all try to do the best we can under the circumstances we are given.
That's true. So, as a policewoman, which are the challenges that you are facing? Because I believe there are many, right?
Challenges. You mean with my colleagues or with the public?
Take it as from the point you feel comfortable to say things.
It hasn't always been easy. That's one thing. Being in a profession that is ruled by men, you have to really work
Especially
your
when if you
psychology.
are educated and you are beautiful, that's
Uh,
that's something too, right?
I think that this all makes it more difficult. It is always
Difficult,
difficult. This
exactly.
makes it even more difficult. So you have to really work on your psychology. You have to really work on the way you're going to deal with its character. Because, as I said at the beginning of our conversation, you have to deal with many different characters, either men or women, because women are even they're growing. They're a growing number, police women.
That's good.
As time goes by, you you learn to manage all these perspectives. I think that citizens are the ones that can better get used to all these. Right now, after all these years, I think I can tell that there is little I cannot handle. It's been a great lesson of life being
Yes,
in the force,
I can
and I'm
tell.
really lucky about it. I haven't regretted a moment.
So you are a balanced and a happy woman. If you can
Yes,
say
yes,
this,
yes.
that's pretty
Yes,
something.
yes, I wouldn't change it. Yes, I really like it. I think that the fact that I have the sense, I have the feeling that I offer to society above all other things is great. It's an honor for me.
Good to hear this. In USA, we are watching many movements for people that are asking to defund the police. Can you see any similarities or differences in Greece? Because I have the sense that people now from the COVID restrictions and the police that they keep an eye on them, they start being, angry.
Bully.
So, what is your feeling about this? All this it cannot be the same, like the one in US, because it's different. The route is different, but still.
How citizens see policemen
Yes.
in the streets.
What is going on now in Greece? Let's ask that.
It's I think it's an odd situation right now. We go one step back, one step back, or two steps back. I'm not sure what the real situation is right now. I think that as far as we don't have too many deaths, and as long as the hospitals survive each day, things are fine. I think that we should still keep trying not to catch the coronavirus.
Yes.
And policemen are always, and policewomen are always the ones that hear of the nagging.
Yeah.
But that's one part of our job. We are the ones that we have to keep standing when everything falls apart.
That's the truth. They have
Us
access
and the nurses and the doctors, of course.
Yes, that's true. So, was any incidents with civilians for the COVID restrictions? I know that they have to pay fines if they cannot explain why they are outside of their house. And from the other hand, it's all over social media these days that many rich people went to Dubai for the Christmas holidays.
Yes, they
for
did.
me, there is always a social division, but I can understand in a way those who are mad right now. They need to text the message to go out somewhere close, and if they're not on time, they really get the fine. And some other privileged Greeks, they were on Dubai, and you are in the middle.
Yes, we are.
In order everything.
This is an excuse that someone can use when he's getting a fine these days.
You heard something like that?
Personally, I haven't, but I'm positive that someone will think of it and will say it eventually. Greeks are. I cannot blame them, but we as Greeks, already that we have a tendency to saying more than is needed, yes, or overreacting. This is really something I cannot, I'm not sure what I should say about. It would be encouraging if we all reacted the same way. And we all acted the same way, but we don't. So each one should think of the consequences of his own action. He's a grown-up adult, and he should think about it, not us.
That's true. Tell us more about the action of police officer for the human rights. What are you doing over there?
We are trying to. We started from trying to, let's say, inform firstly our force of the fact that being different is something that should be respected. Not everyone is ready to accept this truth. So we started by informing, by trying to show the emotional side of people when they are different and how they feel in a field, a force that tries to act the same. And we try, after that, we try every year to help groups of people that need help and try to show the sensitive face of police.
Is there a sensitive face of the police? I can see you are a sensitive person, but is there a sensitive
I
face?
think there is, because if you're asking me if it is the majority, I'm not sure about it. But I think that we are many units that could one day become a greater group, and show that except this cruel face, we also have the other one. For example, I'm a writer. There are also other writers that are police officers. There are actors, there are poets, there are people, and I mentioned the arts because I think that arts, you have to be sensitive to try to express yourself through art. So I think that they are in bits and parts all over Greece, and as time goes by, more will come out, and we'll see there are other traits of characters as well.
This is really positive, and the people is they're expecting.
It wasn't easier. I have to tell you, in earlier years, the force and the rules were very strict. But as all things change in time, over time, I think that this will change as well. It is not something that will be done very quickly. I'm not that optimistic, but we are all here to try.
Yeah, the thing is that the crime is changing as well. So to present, let's say, a very sensitive aspect of police officers, it's a good to know that they're humans and they're next to us. But nobody wants to feel, when you express yourself, you're vulnerable in a way. And yes, I believe that police officers, they want to be, okay with the rules, but serious, because of the crime now, it's changed. And it's not that it used to be 20 or 10 years ago. Yes. So I believe that you need to find the balance.
Yes, you have to find the balance. And sometimes we try to charge the feelings or the emotions. Being having emotions or showing feelings doesn't mean that you cannot do your job in cruelty, just let's say, when the need comes. There are a lot of stereotypes that we have to deal with. And there are stereotypes that the force itself has for the way a policeman should be, a police officer should be. And there are stereotypes that the civilians have about the police force. It is a very, very long travel, and there is a long way until if we resolve any of these in the future.
A police officer is taking the work in the house, back in the house, or no?
I try not to. There are, of course, it depends on the department you work. When you have to do with murders, with rapes, or with any other criminals that are very serious, I'm not sure if it is very easy not to think of work at home. I'm lucky enough to be in a department that I can leave my work back in the office.
Yeah, that's
not all the times, but most of the times.
That's good. So in literature, we can read and feel strong feelings. How we can feel or approach love on internet? Can we feel it? Is it real? Online dating, though, it's not new, as many people might think. As early as 1959, a class of Stanford math students created a final project called Happy Families Planning Services, in which they programmed an IBM 650 computer to pair up 49 men and 49 women. So it's so old, all that. Of course, when you are on the internet, the approach and the connection, in a way, it's easier. But is it real? Who can handle the real from the other part? What do you think?
I don't really believe on internet loves. The ones that begin, that they start through the internet, is a different thing when you try to meet someone over the internet and when you already know him and you use the media to actually meet or try to know each other better, because the circumstances are not always easy, as in the coronavirus era. I think that the media have helped during this period, but I don't really believe in loves that could start without knowing each other. I'm really fan of the touch of the first looks. I don't fancy other loves. I other kind of loves. I like the real ones. So, and this is the ones I write about.
Yeah.
I write about loves that are not perfect. They are certainly not perfect, but they try to live perfect moments. And I think this is the one thing that we should all try to do when we are in love. And this is something that doesn't last. So we should always try to take the best and the most of it.
That's true. So, what is love looks like in 2021? What do you think?
This is a very interesting question. I have to tell you, I don't think I've been asked before how love looks. I think that we try to demonize, if there is this word in English, the feeling. We try to bury it under the soil, under the ground. But love is always there, even if we try not to see him. And he's sometimes hidden behind other excuses like work or family, or I don't know what else, what other responsibilities we can think of. Love is always there. I think that although it seems difficult nowadays to fall in love, and it is not easy to fall in love, it is the great feeling is very rare, I think. I really like to all people to think that it is out there, and they will find it eventually at least once in their life, and they should believe it. They deserve at least one love in their life, and they should go and go for it.
And how we can continue being in love? Did you, from all these research? I mean, you have something to tell us, to tell the people.
Yes,
How
I have.
this
I have to tell you the truth. Love doesn't doesn't last for long, and this is good, because being in love all the time would be very tiring. Love is a great, a very a huge emotion, a huge feeling, and it would be very tiring if we felt it, if we would feel it all the time. So eventually it will end one way or another. If we are both there and the one part doesn't decide to leave, we can always choose the path of love, which is the next step. If one part wants to move on with his life because he's not satisfied anymore, then we should do the same thing. I don't believe we should be a long time in situations that are not healthy. We should try to feel the pain. We should try to experience all feelings that come after the end of a love. But then we should stand up and try and run and find our next love, because there is always another one.
How many? That's my last question. How many?
Not the great ones are not many. We have already said that, but there are also loves that can be great experience, and they can offer us great moments. It doesn't mean that every time we meet.
The unfulfilled one in literature, we have the one that never. Yes.
The unfulfilled, you mean? Yes, I also wouldn't like people to have many unfulfilled loves. I think that one is enough. Because this is again a very tiring feeling, being feeling unfulfilled a lot of time. So one is enough. I think that we should try to experience many kind of love. So this is, I think, the secret for a balance in our love life.
That's true. Thank you so much. It was really interesting, our little girl chat. So the message is to not be afraid, to
Yes.
go for
To
love.
live. Yes, to live.
Let's live.
Live and love, I think, are the same thing. You cannot live, you cannot truly live if you don't love. Either a man or a woman, I mean, as a relationship, or because love in Greek has many is a different thing.
Yes.
There is erotas and love in Greek and agape. In English, it's the same word for both, but they're not the same thing. We should try and love. Yes, we should try to love any way we can.
Thank you so much. Have an amazing, full of love and healthy 2021. Thank you so much, Ioanna.
Thank you.